Okay, patch 7.3 came out yesterday, the 5th of August, and it was pretty good, quite honestly. I'm still working my way through it. Obviously, I've not started the MSQ and other bits and pieces yet, but from what little I have played so far, I'm really enjoying having stuff to do in the game again. However, there are some known issues, and some of them are bigger than others. We'll get to those in a second. There's actually another page of these. So first of all, let's read through the known issues as of the patch going live up till today. Obviously, they're working behind the scenes to try and rectify a lot of these problems. Like I say, some are greater than others. So first of all, there was an issue wherein the graphical noise appears around certain NPCs during specific main scenario quests added in 7.3. Again, I have absolutely no idea what that's pertaining to. Obviously, not to spoil myself, but the fact that there is something listed here about graphical noise, so some kind of graphical effect or something that they use for cutscenes, maybe that's persisting where it shouldn't. Who knows? There was also an issue wherein frame rate drops during certain instance dungeon battles added in 7.3. This seems to be consoles only, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S versions only. Obviously, that's something that's going to be somewhat annoying if you're going into this patch and going, why is this a bit choppy? Especially on PS5, that is surprising. So it's probably a bigger problem rather than just optimization. So a little bit more QA probably needed. We have noticed, myself and my friend group, that the QA seems to be a little bit relaxed on this patch. It seems to be, there's quite a few bugs, let's be perfectly honest. Moving on then, an issue in Crystalline Conflict PvP custom matches, wherein under certain conditions after the Pictomancer is incapacitated and they do not use the PvP action creature motif through the end of a match, they will be unable to use this action after reselecting rematch. This issue can be resolved by logging out and logging back in. They do say this is like tied to custom matches, which again is a pretty niche thing, especially on a patch day. So this is probably something QA picked up on by just trying out some custom matches or something. Very weird. I don't know if this exists elsewhere, but as a Pictomancer player more recently, it does make me a little bit concerned, especially the fact you have to relog to fix something. But again, seems to be tied only to custom Crystalline Conflict matches, which probably is a very small portion of the population that does those in the first place, right? Probably just for tournaments and things, and I doubt many people are running tournaments and things on day one, but I could be wrong. So the effects of the following PvE actions do not display correctly. This includes Blood Spiller, Wheeling Thrust, Hisatsu Shinten, Crimson Cyclone, Engagement, and Displacement. So there's some issues there, which is display like graphically. They did change a few things in the patch in terms of, you know, especially for PvP, so maybe it's had knock-on effects. They say that the effects of the following PvP actions also are not displaying properly, including Wheeling Thrust again, Crimson Cyclone, and Displacement. So I think with the 7.3 adjustments to Crystalline Conflict and making it so that it's more, you know, you can visualize a lot more of the abilities that have been listed. They have like special glows and things like that, so you can easily see what the enemy is using. It's probably had a knock-on effect across the board, so that's to be expected. They say an issue wherein a female Viera equipping the Assassin's HUD causes part of the graphics to clip the character's face. I mean, you're going to get issues like this. As far as I know, this is probably one of the most well-received patches in the entirety of Dawntrail, simply because of Viera and Hrothgar being able to wear more hats. I think there might be one or two exceptions to that, but like the majority of hats and headwear should now be usable, which is pretty good. And obviously you're going to have the knock-on effect of hundreds of items that a couple of them are going to have graphical issues. So yeah, that's slightly unfortunate, but they're aware of it, and I'm sure they'll fix it. But I'm sure that looks hilarious. An issue wherein the furnishing item Training Bench, which was added in 7.3, displays a different graphic in-game from its icon. The correct appearance can be viewed via the preview furnishing option in a housing menu. That is very interesting. I wonder what image it is showing. Very strange, but again, another thing that slipped through the cracks in housing. Another one then, an issue wherein the furnishing item silver ornate wall door, also added in 7.3, displays shadows in unnatural locations. Okay. There was an issue wherein the icon for Phoenix Down registered to a hotbar does not correctly indicate whether the item can be used when the target character is out of range. Oh, right, so it doesn't dull out. Yeah, okay, well, that's a simple thing. Should be a simple fix. Yeah, they increased the range of it, but also increased the recast time and the cooldown time to, what, 5 minutes now on Phoenix Downs. But you can stack them to 999, and you can also use them in combat. Phoenix Downs are actually useful now, as opposed to that one that you forget about in your bag. So that's pretty cool. In general, the changes, but of course there's a few issues. There was also an issue in Group Poser's Portrait mode, which is a new mode where you can design a picture and then go into portrait mode, which flips it, which makes it into a portrait photograph, essentially, with high resolution details. So you can post that to social media. A lot of people wanted this system. There was an issue using an aspect ratio other than 16:9 may result in sticker positions not matching their previewed placement. That's an interesting one. But again, new piece of tech. I'm sure there's going to be hiccups with the stickers. It should be fine without them, though. There was also an issue wherein the acquisition method for the Portrait Adventurer Plate frame, Island Days, added in 7.3, is incorrectly listed as item exchange instead of currency exchange. So if you didn't know, if you get 3,000 Seafarer Cowries, the blue ones, on your Island Sanctuary, you can get a brand new portrait frame. So that's where you get that from the currency exchange over in your Island Sanctuary. But apparently that was just listed incorrectly. There was an issue when chat bubbles are enabled wherein messages sent while using performance actions, so Bard performance, the music stuff, may appear briefly alongside other chat bubbles after exiting performance mode. Oh, that's really interesting. That is really interesting. That's a cool thing. I wonder how they figured that one out. But that is not all. As a direct follow-up, we have more issues that they've been made aware of. This is today's date, the 6th of August. They say, we have identified the issues listed below. The issues are being investigated and addressed, and additional information will follow as the situation develops. The first main issue, in some of the Omicron Allied Society quests, the position of markers with class icons indicating collection locations on the map are incorrect. So slightly frustrating where things don't line up properly on the map. I guess you'll just have to kind of go the general direction and look around with your eyes, which is a little bit of a minor one. Players are unable to catch the time-worn Gargantua map whilst fishing. So if you've been fishing and you're like, I know for a fact I can get one of these maps once per day to do the new treasure map dungeon, Vault 1 Iron, why can I not get one with my fisher? It isn't just you. It turns out that it's just not able to be fished. So, yeah, that's a bug, but you'll still be able to use your miner and botanist. I was doing mining yesterday to get some maps, get a map, and had no issues, but oof, I bet it felt really rough as a fisher going, where is this map? Why do all my friends have maps, but I don't? Well, there you go. The substat of the equipment item, Mayakov Ring Bands of Scouting, which I believe is actually from the new Alliance raid, right? Is listed as spell speed instead of skill speed. Now, I want to know if this is just a tooltip error or if it actually is giving you spell speed, because scouting with spell speed, I guess that could, I mean, jokingly, maybe it affects the mudgerers. I don't know. It definitely doesn't. But yeah, they made a bit of an oopsie there. Presumably it's just a text thing, but it's probably they've just put the wrong stats on it. But yeah, you've got spell speed on those ring bands if you go do the Alliance raid. Pretty great, but a big oversight. I'm surprised they didn't make more errors like that. Like I said, the QA seems a little bit relaxed on this patch. Next up we have, and finally, when certain hairstyles are applied to male aura, unnatural shadows appear on the hair depending on how the light hits it, end quote. Which is really interesting considering, you know, I don't think they've added anything new to like hair other than to like Viera and Rothgar, which had an extended range of hairstyles. So maybe everything just had a knock-on effect to something. You'll notice that this is the second time they've said unnatural shadows. First it was on furnishings and now on aura hair. So it'll be interesting to see what other things may have had also issues with shadows. But yeah, those are the known issues as of today, the 6th of August. And I'm sure a lot of them will be fixed. Some of them more humorous than anything. Some of them like weird map-related issues, graphical issues, and I guess putting the wrong stats on gloves. But yeah, anyway, nothing too game-breaking, nothing that needs immediate emergency maintenance or anything. Just things that can be probably hot-fixed in at like 3 in the morning if they time it correctly. Anyway, let me know if you have experienced anything that's not on this list as an issue or a bug that you might think is a bug, and we'll investigate. But thank you so much for watching. More videos on the way from 7.3. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.